it's Sarah Kaye. Welcome back to my channel, and today I'm going to be sharing with you my top 10 favorite Christmas movies. So basically I'm just going to be telling you what they're about and why I like them. So let's get on with the video. And I just want to say before we get started that these movies are in no particular order because that would just be way too hard for me to choose because I love all of them so much. So the first movie I'm going to be talking about is Elf. And a lot of you have probably heard of Elf because it's a very popular Christmas movie starring Will Ferrell. And basically he's a human raised by elves, and he thinks he is an elf. And then eventually he realizes that he's just a human, and he wants to get to his dad, and a whole bunch of other stuff happens. And I watch it every Christmas season, and I just think it's a really funny movie. So the second movie I'm going to be talking about is The Santa Claus. Basically what it is, there's a dad and his son in their house, and they hear Santa Claus on the roof. And they go outside, and Santa falls off the roof, and the son tells his dad to put on the Santa suit. So he puts it on, and they end up getting transported to the North Pole, where one of the elves tells the dad that he must take Santa's place before the next Christmas arrives. And yeah, he basically just ended up being Santa. And I just really love this movie, and I watch it every single year with my family. And yeah, on to the next movie. So the third movie I'm going to be talking about is The Santa Claus 2. Santa for years, but his son got himself on the naughty list, so he has to deal with that along with everything he has to do for Christmas. And if he doesn't marry by Christmas Eve, he'll stop being Santa forever. And I just feel like it's a really fun movie to watch. It's really interesting, and I don't know, I just really like it. So as you can probably guess, the next movie I'm going to be talking about is The Santa Claus 3. So by this point, Santa is already married, so he invites his in-laws to come stay with them in the North Pole for a while. But the thing is, the in-laws can't know that they're in the North Pole. They think they're toy makers in Canada. So basically everyone has to pretend like they're in Canada, but in the end they end up telling them that he's Santa Claus and that they're in the North Pole. And throughout the movie, Jack Frost likes to mess a lot of things up for everyone, especially Santa. But I'm not going to spoil too much for you guys if you want to go watch it. And yeah, I just really like all three of the Santa Claus movies. Comment down below if you've ever seen the Santa Claus movies and if you like them or not. So the next movie is Home Alone. I'm not going to go into too much detail because a lot of you guys have probably seen this movie because it's really popular. But basically the little boy's family just leaves without him for a vacation by mistake. And he wakes up to an empty house, but he was actually kind of excited. And then he realized that two men were going to rob them. But he had to protect himself and his family's house by himself. And I think it's a pretty funny movie, and I really like it. So my next favorite movie is The Christmas Chronicles. Like, Sarah, like, what are you talking about? That just came out a few days ago. But I watched it like the day after it came out, and I just fell in love with the movie because it's just so good. It's pretty much about these two siblings that try to capture Santa Claus in the night, and then some stuff happens and they end up joining forces with Santa and his elves and going to the North Pole to try to save Christmas because they had almost ruined it. I just really liked that movie, and they had a lot of funny parts, and yeah, I just thought it was really good. So the next movie is A Crown for Christmas. Movie, and basically this woman gets fired from her job as a maid, and she accepts a job that's just temporary as a governess to a little girl who's part of a royal family. And at first the little girl really didn't like her, but in the end they ended up pretty much being best friends. While she was still a maid, she ran into this guy, and he ended up being a prince at the palace where she was going to be a governess. And I'm not going to spoil what happens at the end, and I just really love this movie, and that's why it made it into my top 10. So the next one is The Dog Who Saved Christmas. About a police dog named Zeus that's retired from the force, and he ended up getting sent to the pound. But he got adopted by this guy that has a wife and 2 kids. Zeus finally got brought home and he had a family, but his wife didn't want to keep the dog because she wanted a watchdog and Zeus couldn't bark. But before they took him back to the pound, they were away on Christmas Eve and Zeus was at their house by himself. And he gets a chance to redeem himself because 2 burglars were coming to rob their home. And the burglars end up going to jail and they keep Zeus. And actually I've already watched this like 2 or 3 times this Christmas season. This is definitely one of my favorites. So the next movie is The Dog Who Saved Christmas Vacation. I haven't seen this movie yet this year, so I'm not going to go into too much detail because I can't remember everything about it right at the moment. But basically Zeus and his owners go to a mountain lodge for their Christmas vacation, and he meets a new friend who's a poodle. And the 2 thieves are back. The poodle and Zeus work together to ruin the thieves' plans. And I just really love this movie and hope to see it soon. So the 10th and last movie is Christmas with the Cranks. watched this movie a few days ago and I actually think it's really good. Luther and Nora Crank's daughter, Blair, is not going to be home for Christmas this year. So since she's not, Luther and Nora decide to go on a cruise and skip Christmas this year. And all their neighbors get really upset because they all love Christmas and they have a lot of Christmas traditions that all the neighbors do. And the Cranks weren't going to do it this year. One of the traditions is everyone puts up Frosty on the top of their roof. And the Cranks have the biggest Frosty. And since they were skipping Christmas and weren't going to put it up this year, everyone was in front of their house asking to get Frosty. But their daughter Blair ended up coming back home for Christmas, so they had to get all their decorations up and throw a Christmas party, all in a short amount of time. And when Blair got home, she was so excited, and they all ended up having a really good Christmas. And I just think this movie's really funny, and I just really love it. So thank you guys so much for watching today's video. I hope you enjoyed it. Please give it a big thumbs up and subscribe down below and hit the notification bell so you can get notified every time I post a new video. And please comment down below what your favorite Christmas movie is. And I'll see you next time. Bye!